The big story is, of course, the title race. For Arsenal, it leaves them in such a difficult position. They've got 4 points to make up and only 6 points in which to do it. And that's hoping that Manchester City are able to slip up. It's been a long season for them. At times, they've been fantastic. Has this been a step too far now, Patrick?
That's still a step forward from last season. I think if we are all looking at Arsenal last season and to talk about them to be challenging City this season, I think not so many people will believe Arsenal will be here around that season. But of course they will be disappointed because they were so close to win the title. And they have to be realizing what they are missing. Because, of course, losing the games today, I think it's more than just the games. Of course, they lost the title today. But it's about how do you rebuild the team, how do you think about what you are missing to improve and to be even closer to Manchester City next season. And I think they will have to analyze not just the games today, they will have to analyze the season. They will have to make a step back and to reflect on the season. And, of course, there's a couple of pieces that they will miss and they are missing to be there or to be a little bit more closer to Manchester City.
What do you think they're missing?
I think what is really important, it's of course the experience. And players going through those periods will gain this kind of experience. It was quite really challenging because in the last 10 games, they're playing games to win. And when you play games to win, the pressure is different. So they will learn from this situation that they're living at the moment, and that will make them stronger next year. And then there is some pieces that, of course, they will miss on the field because when you're looking at the back, I think that they will need a couple of pieces as a central back. They will need maybe a right back. In the midfield, I think there is some really good quality players, but they may need a little bit more of the physicality. And up front, it's important, of course, to have those players who are capable of scoring goals. And if they manage to bring those 3-4 players in the starting 11, then I think they will be a step closer to Manchester City.
Mikey, you've been in the position that Arsenal have been in this season. When you were at Manchester City, it had been 44 years since they'd won a league title. For Arsenal, it's been 19, now going into 20 since they last won the league title, and a group of players who hadn't won it collectively before. What did you, I mean, obviously Manchester City got over the line in that season, but what did you learn along the way?
Just to keep going. You know, obviously, a lot of people are going to say Arsenal have bottled it. I wouldn't use that word. I said they've come a long way since last season. I think where it comes from, when you're so far ahead and the games at the drop points, when they're up at Anfield 2-0, and then West Ham, Southampton, these games, and then losing 3-0 here today, these are the games that really hurt. When I was in a title run, we went ahead, but we had QPR to play on the last day, and it didn't go swimmingly. It was only to the last minute with Aguero moment. So these things can happen. They just have to make sure they learn and they move forward. Let's be totally honest. They're all disappointed because even I said 3 months ago, this is a different Arsenal. It's a completely different Arsenal, and they've done exceptionally well to be here. But the difference has been when Man City have needed to change it up, Mahrez and Foden come in today, and Arsenal, when they make the changes, they're just not as strong. Saliba, when he's not in the side, Kira has done well. Rob Holding's done well at times, but these little differences have made a big difference in the end.
Where do you think that Arsenal, who mathematically are still in with a chance of winning the league, but effectively it feels like it's over for them, where do you think they've fallen short?
I think when you look at some of the games over the last, obviously, probably 5-6 weeks, particularly, I think the West Ham stands up for me in the Southampton games. I know they dropped points against, obviously, losing at City, the Liverpool game, which can happen, of course. You can't win every game because they've won 25 league games, which is fantastic. But I think the points they lost against West Ham and Southampton definitely knocked them back a little bit. And we saw a team today, I think, that was physically and mentally shot. Really was. And I think there was an effort there. But as soon as Brighton started flexing their muscles, passing and moving, looking really sharp, they look quicker, they look sharper. And again, we go back to it. We've been saying it for the last few months. If they had a few injuries, they'd struggle. And I think the bottom line is they don't have certainly the strength and depth of Man City. Man City, the experience, better quality in terms of their squad. And they've just come up short. It's as simple as that. And they'll need players. They'll need 4 or 5 players, but that's easy. It's easy to roll off your tongue and say a team needs players. Man United need players, you know. Man City will be getting players. It's going to get the right players and the right characters. So if they ever get in this position again, in terms of where they're, you know, in pole position, and they have 1 or 2 injuries, they've got quality to come in. We spoke about Man City today. They made changes, but they brought in pure quality players. The team didn't weaken. When Arsenal make changes, the teams weaken.
Mike, I know you want to talk about maybe next season and the future for Arsenal and what they've learned from this season. But just to talk from Manchester City's point of view for a second, this is what needs to happen. If Arsenal lose against Nottingham Forest on Saturday, Manchester City will be crowned champions before they next kick a ball. If Arsenal draw against Nottingham Forest on Saturday, then effectively they will be able to do it. But because of that huge goal difference, Manchester City will pretty much have won it, but they won't be able to seal it until they get a draw or a win against Chelsea on Sunday. If Arsenal get the win, then Manchester City still will win the Premier League title by beating Chelsea on Sunday. Either way, on Sunday, Manchester City know that when they face Chelsea, they will be able to win it to be crowned champions for the 3rd time in a row, for the 5th time in 6 seasons.
Extraordinary. You know, when Pep first come into Manchester, he come with this new style of play. How was he going to approach it? They finished 3rd. Everyone was saying he couldn't bring the Barcelona style to England, and he's made everyone look stupid. He is a genius, but not just him. All the backroom staff and the players buying in to what he wants to do. If you look at Cancelo, how good's he been for Man City? Okay, he's not needed. We'll say him on to Bayern Munich. You know, company going at the right time. David Silva going at the right time. So many different things has just played into their hands.